Hi, I am Sorika Sai, course instructor for fluid mechanics. In this presentation, we will begin with the basic concept, that is by knowing what is force. Then we will learn about buoyancy and Archimedes principle. Force is any push or pull exerted on an object. If a force is greater in one direction than that of other direction, then there will be movement of the object. Here we can see that on this object there is a force F which is acting in positive x direction. But there is no opposing force in other direction, hence the object will move. Whereas in the second figure we can observe that force F is acting in positive x direction and there is an opposing force F also acting, but it is acting in negative x direction. Hence the object will be at rest. And when the object is immersed in water, there will be forces acting on the object all around its surface. Here we can see that in horizontal direction, there are forces acting on one side of the object in positive x direction and on another side of the object in negative x direction. Since they are of equal magnitude but opposite direction, they will cancel out. So we will be left out with only the forces acting in downward direction and the forces acting in upward direction. So the force acting on the object which is immersed in water acting in downward direction is weight, and the force which is acting in upward direction is called as buoyant force, which is referred by term Fb. And also when the object sinks, there will be two forces acting on it. One is weight and the second one is buoyant force Fe. And this buoyant force also referred to as upthrust, and it is defined as the upward force which is exerted on an object which is immersed in a liquid. When an object is immersed in the liquid, there will be upthrust which will be acting, as we already have seen, which is nothing but buoyant force Fb, and its magnitude will be equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. Here we can see that when the object is immersed in a liquid, there will be some amount of water which will be displaced. So if we find out the weight of the liquid displaced, we can come to know what is the upthrust acting on the object. Now here we can see that in a container, an object is immersed. In the first case, we can see that this object sinks. This is because the weight of the object, that is W, is greater than the buoyant force Fb. Hence it sinks, and this condition is referred to as negative buoyancy. Whereas in the second case, we can see that the object is floating. It is because the weight of the body is less than the buoyant force, and this condition is referred to as positive buoyancy. In third case, the weight of the object is equal to the buoyant force. Hence, the body is floating just inside the surface of the liquid, and this condition is referred to as neutral buoyancy. Next we will find out what does Archimedes principle state. Before that, we will learn how this principle was discovered. King Hiero II gave a goldsmith an amount of pure gold to construct a crown. But after the crown was delivered, the king noticed that the ground is not made up of pure coal. It may contain some other material also along with coal. So he asked Archimedes to find out if any other material is being mixed with gold without melting it. One day while taking a bath, he noticed that the water level in the tub rose, and Archimedes suddenly understood that the volume of water displaced must be equal to the volume of part of his body which is being submerged in water. So he realized that the volume of irregular objects could be measured by knowing the volume of water displaced. So he thought of immersing irregularly shaped crown in water. After immersing it in water, he found out its volume by measuring the volume of displaced water by the crown. Then by dividing mass of the crown to the volume, he found out the density of the crown, as density is equal to mass divided by volume. This density found out must have been equal to the density of pure gold, but he noticed that the density calculated for the crown was less than that of pure gold. So Archimedes knew that the dishonest goldsmith had made the crown out of another metal. Hence, his discovery was very important in helping to measure the volume and density of irregular objects. So, Archimedes' principle states that the upward buoyant force Fb, which is exerted on an object immersed in a liquid, whether it is partially or fully submerged, will be equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the object. Thank you.